Greetings all, this is episode 189 of my Journey series. We're currently in our 1.8, beta 1.8 village, and I'm aiming to build a pumpkin and melon farm. Now, I was having problems getting crops to grow, however I believe you need an air block above the stem, so that's completely put to pot my original plan of how I was going to do it. Basically, I'm just going to leave a gap between the lower section and the next section. It's not very efficient because it's better to have multiple dirt blocks around the stem, but I mean, whatever. I can live with it. There's going to be a lot of levels though. It's going to be fairly tall. I don't think it'll be like super tall. It might be. I don't know. Let's just start building and see what it takes us. First of all, I am going to place down the next level if I can figure out where that's to go. See, maybe we should plant the crops afterwards and not like right now. And the water, as you can see, is going just below the pistons here. Let's get the dirt in our bar. Put that there. We need silk touch. Where's the pistons? There they are. So yeah, I'm going to try and do a live build commentary video thing like I did for the nether farm, just because I feel like it. This sort of a build warrants it because it's simple and it's been done before. So this is the best way, in my opinion, to incorporate it into a let's play. Oh no, it's fine. We got a garden tool to help us out. Right. So I guess all we do is that if we want to add the next level. So we'll have melons on the right, pumpkins on the left, and we're going to operate the pistons using a chain of torches that goes up the side. Although I feel like we could do better. Let's get rid of these, and instead of having them go up like that, we can save resources if we do this. Hang on a minute. Let's get rid of that. Place down the redstone, that's fine. Actually, we could completely miss out that torch. Do that. There we go. Yes, okay, we're going to have to till that again. You've got to till, I've said this before, but you've got to till the soil in order for the pumpkins and melons to grow, I believe. I mean, we could do a bit of a test. We could get rid of this pumpkin and leave it soil untilled and see if another one grows, but I'm fairly certain it doesn't, or it won't. Then, this could be all for nothing. But I think if my calculations are true, we're going to save some resources at least in doing it this way. Yeah, like that. So then, the next level will be built here. Is that fine? Can we get away with it? I think so. Now, unfortunately, it does seem quite inefficient because what you've essentially got is you can grow 2 melons for 1, 2, 3, 4 levels basically. So if we want to grow a stack of melons, based on a stack of melon seeds, obviously that's 4 blocks for 2 melons. So if you, well, the world height limit is 128, we're down at 100, well, let's just say 68 for the sake of argument. 168 is 60 below that. 60 to 4 is 15, I think. And 50 times 2 is 30. Yeah, we're not going to be able to grow the amount that we need, so we might have to rethink this. I'm starting to think it might be better just to build one on the ground. I was going to build one high up, but I think we would save a lot more in the way of space if we built one on the ground. Wee bit annoying, but we could make it more efficient as well if we build it on the ground, because then we can have like multiple stems and multiple dirt blocks that will increase the efficiency of it. I mean, we don't need it to be super efficient, but you know, it's nice to have that quality about a farm just in case. So I think what we're going to do... Well, instead of tearing this down, what we'll do is we'll figure out a system to go in the ground. Unfortunately, it's going to require quite a bit of redstone. And it's going to require sticky pistons. But the idea is... In fact, instead of digging into the ground, which I can't be bothered doing, we'll just build it up high. So what we could have a C tier, the crop would grow either there or there, which means we're going to have pistons under both of those sections. And then we'll have a pathway here down the middle. And then water on the edges. I'll have a think about it. But in the meantime, I'm going to tear down this. And we'll come back and reconvene. And try out the new design. Well, so much for live building. I did quite a bit of off camera, I should say. As you can see, it was something that I probably couldn't have done live because I had to really think about what I was doing. But I'm hopeful that we've got to a point where I can now lay the top of the farm down, because obviously this is just the redstone wiring that obviously enables it to function. So the idea is that we've got two sets of pistons. Obviously pumpkins will be grown on one side, melons on the other, and the idea is that these are the blocks that they'll grow on, obviously one above on dirt, and then in between there'll be crops here and crops here. We're going to have the left hand crops being ones that don't actually have two growth spots, they've only got one. But the reason I did that was more just for the extra chance of growth, if you know what I mean. It's not like hopefully it doesn't cause any issues with the farm. I don't know if it will or not. We'll have to wait and see. This could be a waste, or it could be a waste, but as you can see, every single piston goes up. It's important to have the pressure plate here, the activator there, because then you don't need to extend the delay or anything, because if it was down here then you'd have to find a way of extending it further. Also, look at that, the armor doesn't move. I thought this was something that was out of the game ages ago, but it's still here. It is still here. Anyway, so what we're going to do, we also need to add the water. You can add water one above the soil is meant to till. It's meant to nourish, that's the word. You can add water one above the block it's meant to nourish. So I'm relying on that fact for this design. Let's just block that up. And then I think what we should do is add on the dirt. This is where obviously the crops are going to be planted. This is where they're going to grow. I don't have a design as of yet, like for the aesthetics, but yeah, that'll come after, similar to the potion area. Let's just add on the dirt, and I do have quite a bit more back at base, so we should be okay. So yeah, I should say this is going to be the final episode in 1.0. Next episode, episode 190, we will be moving on to 1.1, which is actually very useful for this farm, because as of 1.1 you can no longer untill soil by walking on it. That's something that's been in the game for the whole time, but finally you have to actually jump on the soil before you can untill it, so that is good. There's other stuff that's added, but we'll get into that when we actually upgrade. And yeah, we've not, like, there's a lot that's gone on in this, like, since we've upgraded to 1.0. A lot has gone on, but the key thing is we've just been trying to get things set up. The idea is that we're getting these farms set up so we can progress with things like enchanting, because enchanting at the moment is well, it's not very difficult because of the XP farms, but it's very difficult because we need a good way of getting the potions that, you know, can be used on the XP farms, if you know what I mean. So that's really where the last 5 or 6 episodes have been geared towards, or yeah, that's what they've been geared towards, is just improving our accessibility to good enchants. Then again, I think I'm taking the enchants a bit too far. Even efficiency 2 is good at this point. As you can see, I've got efficiency 2 on both of my tools. Even that is good in and of itself. But obviously we want things like fortune, we want things like silk touch and whatnot, so that's why we need to have a good way of getting high levels, and that's going to involve potions, because I don't want to have to kill mobs through spamming. I'd rather do it through potions. It's just a little bit easier. Right, so now what we're going to do, so that's the dirt in place. We could add a path. I'd like to add it out of stone, but as it happens I don't have much stone. Right, oh yeah, then we need to add dirt on these sides, because this is where the other crop's going to go, the other stalk, or stem, or whatever you want to call it. There we go, just add that along there. So the farm's not going to be as big as I thought it was going to be, but to be honest, I think I'm happy with this. I think this is fine, and it's compact, because the one that was going to go up the way was definitely not going to be as compact as I was hoping. I could have tried to recreate the the one that the version of the farm that Zedge and I designed, but the thing is that's automatic and relies on a lot of redstone from the 1.5 update, so yeah, it wasn't quite going to happen. So stem's going to go here, then actual melon or pumpkin, then stem here, then melon or pumpkin. That's how it's going to work. Then the water's going to go here, but the water is obviously going to be one higher. Actually, I've just realised that's not going to work, is it? Oh dear, we are in trouble. Yes, the water can't actually go here. Sorry, it can't go here. Okay, it looks like we're going to have to drop all of this redstone down a block, because we can't fit the water in. If we drop it down a block, then we can place a block up here, and yeah, just have a channel with the water. So I guess that's my next task regarding the functionality of this farm. In terms of looks, we'll probably just go for a greenhouse kind of feel, because I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to overdo it with something that doesn't look really, really weird. So I've got the water in place. I lowered all the redstone that needed lowering. It's all down there now. It's looking alright. Well, I mean, looks aren't everything in this build. It's more for, as I've said, function. As you can see, it is still working. Now, it's time to, well, plant the seed. That's the next step. And I think we'll do the aesthetics another day, because it's going to require a lot of glass, and I'm not, with all due respect, I'm not in the mood for gathering a lot of glass. Let's get 64 of those, and apparently you can just recreate pumpkin seeds if you just keep growing them and harvesting them. It's that easy. I wouldn't call it a hack, more of a, well, it's a feature, because ultimately you don't, the pumpkin stalks and the melon stalks, they don't grow instantly, so even if you recreate through bone meal, it's not like it's easy. You do have to sacrifice bone meal for the extra seeds. Oh yeah, you can't like spam on it. You can only click once. If you hold down the bone meal on the crop, it's gonna get wasted. Not that sort of wasted, but I will waste it. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, so this is good. This is a lot easier than it would have been had we stacked on top of each other. And, you know, we may get some crops before we finish here. I'm gonna, yeah, I'll just plant them all like that. Actually, we won't get any at the moment because we've not tilled the soil. We've not tilled the soil next to it. And we're gonna have to get another garden tool. So the wooden one didn't last very long. There was one we made the other day when we were getting all the achievements. Yeah, I never commentated that part. Well, I never mentioned that part. I should have, but I didn't, so yeah. But that was episode 180 something, 86 I feel like. was like 86 or 87. I got a lot of the early achievements, but we still have to get some, like Sniper Duel, When Pigs Fly, On a Rail, Overkill. Some of these we can get obviously very, very quickly, but some will take a bit of time and effort. Hey, we got our first melon. I'm not going to harvest them just yet. I'll probably harvest them when we're in 1.1, just so I don't until... Ah, yeah, see, here's the problem. If one grows here, then it's going to affect both stalks. So that's the one downside to this sort of a design. But I'm willing to live with it. I'm not that bothered. Also, I'm probably doing the most boring part on camera, but, you know, I've got to do some on camera. So let's play after all. Although to be fair, it's one of these ones that it's always nice to change it up a bit, so I really don't mind people doing stuff off camera. Or cutting a lot out, if you know what I mean. I mean, I cut a lot out, so it's not as if I show everything on camera. This should get nourished by the water, even though it's not. There's no water directly there. Water nourishes up to 4 blocks away on a diagonal, so yeah, that should easily be enough. Right, and then we've got to do the pumpkins as well. I was just over at the mob system getting more bones for the pumpkin area of the farm we were just building. I forgot to mention that I added a piston here. Reason being is because since there's a slime chunk on the farm, or in the mob farm, or in the mob system, some medium slimes will end up here. The big ones I think burn, medium ones will end up here, so it's quite easy just to open this, hit them a bit, and then get their stuff that way. So it's kind of an anti-slime mechanism for the farm, and it works thus far. One episode we'll get onto the slime farm, but not for the foreseeable future. So there we go, all the stems have been grown and the farm is now fully functioning. I won't do a harvest as I said this episode, I don't need to, but as you can see it's fairly efficient. We don't need one that's any bigger, and we'll do the aesthetics another time. So yeah, I'm sorry to cut the episode short, but this episode did take a while to prepare this, and I did think I was going to be doing something different, and then I had to redo it, so that took a bit of time too. But we do have the basis of a melon and pumpkin farm, which I'm happy with, and yeah, hopefully we can add to this in future. But thank you for checking out this episode, and yeah, join me again next time for a new update 1.1. See you later.